Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, April 3rd, 2019. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. You'll notice here that price continues to trend up. Again, this is something I've mentioned all year long. This market's been very bullish, and while it's come into areas where there could have been resistance, it has met every one of those challenges head on, and it's continued to push all the way through those levels, every pullback being bought. This last week, again, very sideways action for the most part. Friday closed higher outside the range, and we've been up ever since, and we're now starting to test prices above levels we haven't seen in a long time. You can see right here, this is the key range right here. The impulse high sold off to the impulse low and gave us this 2703.75 midpoint. That's the big sell-off we had to begin 2018. And the sell-off that we had later on that year began with a box above that level. This box here forming above that key level, and that's the early warning system that we used to identify that price could come back to this level and perhaps even as low as this level, and it did, and then some, reaching the 100% or the 50% expansion at some point here. Now we come all the way back to this level, and we are here again, right at this level, right where the breakdown occurred, right here. It is that level, 28.78.5, and right now we are about 5 handles above that level, 83s. So we're at a very important part in the chart. So I wanted to give you a little bit of backstory there. You can see here the 2-day highs here broken to the upside, stop run day up. There's the midpoint at about 75. That's going to be the very important level to watch, right? 78.5 is the key level. If we close back below the day's mid, back below the 2-day highs, that could be, interesting. If we close strongly through it again, perhaps we're coming back up and we're going to test the highs. We only have a little bit higher before we get up to those very, very top highs right there. That's at about 29.50. So 28.75 to 29.50 is the last price distribution right here, again, before the market fell. And 28.78.5 here is going to be that key. If it can hold above that level, perhaps we fly into the rest of the way up to 29.50. If we fail in this zone, again, we could still kind of be stuck between this price distribution before we make that last move. So just some higher time frame perspective there. We're right at a key level. Today, keep an eye on 28.75, 28.75. Any failure to hold that level would be significant. Holding above it, again, also significant. Very important pivot in the chart. All right, so a little bit longer view here of the ES. The NQ looking very similar in terms of its price structure. It is holding above the previous month's high at the moment, and it's also right at the point here again where things fell off last time. That was around 77.50 or so. That's that last price distribution right there, and price currently working higher off that zone. So again, this appears headed higher at the moment toward the upper end of the range, again 77.50 or so. We have a very clear uptrending structure that continues to remain intact. Today, again, the intraday level to watch here, 75.55. 75.55, there's a bit of an LV in there, and if there's any failure to hold that level, that could open up some weakness back down. But overall, this thing is flowing higher, and more upside likely to be seen until we see significant signs of rejection. Okay, taking a look now at crude oil. So what you see here in crude oil, again, this has been very, very bullish. We're making our way back up the price ladder here where we sold off from. We sold off around 77s all the way down till we hit 42s, and then we've come all the way back now at 62 and change. Today reaching a high of 63 evens, I believe. So 62.99 is the high today. So very, very close. And what you've seen over the last 3 rotations has been very clear price action that starts with a rejection and clear strength. Rejection, clear strength, rejection, and so far clear strength. Very solid moves. After that, again, we start to see a period of range-bound action. Back down, perhaps back up, a little bit of sideways, and then we make another move. This market has been very bullish overall. And again, We've just seen the recent flow higher into 62.70. That was our target. From this level here, I mentioned if price can hit 54.55 to 55, that little zone right there could provide a move into 60.65 and a continuation into 62.70. So that continuation into that target has been met. And now, again, do we see a counter trend move? If so, that could mean a day or two of weakness, perhaps tomorrow or the next day. We have crude oil inventories today. That could provide a little bit of action at some point, and then they could see another continuation higher off that level. So far, very, very bullish price action here out of crude oil. Pullbacks to be bought as this thing continues to flow higher. Lastly, taking a look at gold futures. In gold, we're not seeing much action right now. It's been very, very quiet. The price action here, not very fun to be a part of. Very sideways, whippy. I mentioned that at the time. We talked about 1320s being a key level. If it can't get above that zone, theoretically speaking, we can come back to 1280 for a retest. And in one day, it basically dropped back down. Now 4 days sideways. So the action in gold has not been very good. The price action in some of these others much, much better. What you do see, though, is the market structure remains firmly intact. 1280 is a very important level. Again, any test and drop, even below it, 1270, 1280, could provide a buy back toward 1320 to 1325. So, if we drop a little bit further and take out these lows, that could provide an opportunity to bounce it back up. Right now, we have kind of a rounded top compression pattern. We could be stuck in that range for a little while until something happens here. So, really nothing to do from my perspective in gold here. Unless we see a new low. At that point, that would be an opportunity to watch for rejection. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.